Again, Ralph White. I actually worked for a U.S. bank for about 26 years or so before I moved on to really doing some innovations at the bank. And I got really into the AI. Now I'm back contracting with the bank doing AI innovation type work. I partnered with the World Bank and done some AI workshops with them, worked with a bunch of different companies, all in just a matter of like 6 months since I left the bank as a regular employee. But my information is on the screen, so anybody wants to contact me afterwards or connect on LinkedIn, wide open to do that. What I'm going to be covering here is kind of the breadth of AI. Like a lot of people use AI and they think just like ChatGPT. And we can get some participation too in the chat on the line as well. What AI tools are you currently using? Anybody using AI? What are you using? ChatGPT and what else? Cloud. All right, cool, good. ChatGPT. All right. Let's see. I can't see the chat right here on the screen. Oh, I see something in the chat. Let's see if I can pull up the chat. Somebody said yes. Gemini, LLM Notebook. Good. That was one I was going to show out today. Good. All right. Perfect. All right. So I see a few of them. So how I typically categorize these AI tools is in several different ways. So you have your text AI. So we're talking about generative AI. And that's your stuff like your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Gemini. And most people are asking questions and getting responses or asking it to, make my email better or review this document, things like that. And what I want to show you, what I'll probably be showing you today is some other parts of AI you may or may not have seen. Now, if you mess around with ChatGPT, you may have done some image generation. Anybody done image generation with ChatGPT? All right, they got some really impressive stuff that I'll show you, some new upgrades to that. Has anybody done some text to video? No, haven't seen that. Okay, all right. And you can drop stuff in the chat too. I'll be checking the chat as we go. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on PowerPoints and everything. But with video, they have these text to video tools. You can really just type in a scene of what you want to do. It'll create a whole AI video around that, right? And they're usually like short, 5-10 seconds. But there's another one I use called InVideo, which is really, really cool. It'll make a full-fledged video, 10, 20, 30 minutes. You can either do it using AI created video or it'll use stock images. So I've created some like little commercials for like, a bank or whatever, kind of recreated like a commercial that a bank might make within video using AI. And banks usually spend, tens of thousands of dollars to have that type of stuff produced. I was able to produce it in a couple of clicks in about 5 minutes with AI tools. So the cool thing about the AI tools is they're really helping us, take our productivity to the next level. If you're thinking from an entrepreneurship standpoint, you'll be able to go a lot faster with a lot less people to have to help you out to get started. When I was starting off, I'm an entrepreneur as well. I own a business. I own a coffee shop in Norcross. I own the consulting business that I do now, right? And before, it took a lot of manpower, a lot of funding, all this type of stuff. But I'm going to show you some really interesting stuff you've probably never seen that you can actually start up your startup pretty rapidly and pretty quick, all right? Then audio. Anybody ever heard of Suno? Anybody online heard of Suno? Let me see what this little chat bubble. I see one chat bubble here. ChatGPT, Gemini, no, they said they ain't heard of no Suno. All right. Anybody heard of 11 Labs? No? Okay, got one 11 Labs. 11 Labs does like voice cloning. So I clone my voice and I used to use it a lot for trainings when I have like e-learnings and I want to change some voiceover on the training. I can just take my cloned voice, type in the new script, and drop it into the training without having to re-record it myself. So pretty cool tools. I'll show you a few use cases. Now, the reason I show you all of this stuff is not because you'll use every single piece, right? But if you only know ChatGPT, then your vision of the world of AI is very limited. It's limited to ChatGPT, and you think that's all it can do. But there's so much more, and I'm gonna show you some cool things you can do. I don't know what your business ideas are and things like that, but I'll show you some cool stuff you can do with some of these AI tools. All right, so let's see. Quick little warning things I always give. I usually give this at corporate stuff, but it's probably good to say it here. When you're using these models, don't put any like personal information. Don't drop your social security number in there. Don't put any secret customer data and stuff in there, because they can get breached. I've actually seen some stuff myself when I was playing around with a model and something popped up. So you just want to be very careful with that. If you're working for a company, just always check company policies. But if you're being an entrepreneur, you're doing it yourself, really good to kind of have those guardrails as well. So I always just throw that out there real quick. And now with that, let's explore some tools. So I'm going to explore quite a few number of tools here. And we have a beautifully done, I sent a little rinky-dink list, but they beautifully marked this up. And it's really, really nice resource. Beautiful. That's a very beautiful resource. I was like, I can't even get ChatGPT to do it like that. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, but let's just go ahead and jump in. I'm going to stop sharing my slides, and I'm going to get ready to share my my browser. So let me get this up and running here. Uh-oh. All right. Tell me when you can see the screen. All right, can y'all see the screen on that side? Can everybody see it online? Drop me like a thumbs up or a yay. All right, so they can see it on the screen. All right, so I'm gonna start with ChatGPT real quick. Let's start a new chat. So you've used ChatGPT. How many of you know that there are multiple ChatGPTs? All right, so which one of y'all using the most? Four, all right. 4.0, because there was a 4, now it's a 4.0. All right, then there's a 4.5, and then there's a 0.4 mini, and there's a 0.3. So anybody know when some of these are better to use than others? Yeah. All right. So they kind of give you a little bit of a hint. So ChatGPT has a lot of different models. Now they said they want to simplify that eventually, where you don't have to kind of pick and choose the models, but these different models do different things. They do stuff a little bit differently. So the typical 4.0 is probably one of their best models right now for their kind of quick response models. But 0.3 and 0.4 are what they call reasoning models. Anybody know what that means when it comes to that? They think. Yeah, they're reason. They call them thinking models. So they actually think through the answer they're going to give you. So if y'all have already used ChatGPT, the regular 4.0, just want to kind of show you what 0.3, something like 0.3 looks like. So I set up a couple of little prompts here, and I'm going to do a couple of things with this. So I'm going to drop this prompt in here. I wanted to do, why is it not letting me paste in the screen? Hold on, it's not letting me paste in the screen. Okay, there it is. All right, I don't know what's going on. All right, so I looked up, Entrepreneurship Innovation Institute. I asked it to, let's come up with a comprehensive plan to solve challenges that this organization might have. Let me do my typo. And I put the website and all that. So what I want you to pay attention to is, you see it says thinking, and then usually it'll even show me what it's thinking. So it might pop up and show me exactly what the model's thinking. And it's pretty interesting to watch. If it doesn't show me on this, there it is. The user is this. It's kind of discussing with itself. Then it'll say, I think we should do this. We might not find the direct something. I have several search results now. It looks like, so it's pretty interesting that they train these models to emulate actual thinking. And you get better answers with these models through these thinking models. So these are for deeper research type things. You got a basic question. Hey, change this email, reword this email, whatever. Use the regular 4.0. But if you want something deeper, you want some deeper research done, this is a really good way to do it. So what it's doing now is searching the web. It's reviewing a bunch of websites. It's looking for Instagram pages. It's looking for all this different stuff to try to find out the challenges for the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute at Georgia State University, and then create a plan where I could do it. So now it's kind of come up with, let's see if I can minimize this. So it's come up with biggest challenges, uneven or episodic funding, given pages, So it's kind of given the evidence of those pages, and then a 24-month action plan for them to tackle those challenges, right? And this was in a matter of seconds. It's still typing out stuff, right? So full-fledged plan, imagine if you're an entrepreneur and you want to do, say, a SWOT analysis. You want it to help you build out a business plan. It can help you with that. So this is just one. This is 0.3 And then they have O4 Mini, which is very, very similar. All right. So I just wanted to show that because everybody uses ChatGPT, but not everybody knows all the hidden stuff in there. There are other things you can do. What I get a lot, surprisingly, working with some of these big banks and everything, I know how to do a bunch of fancy, cool, crazy stuff with AI, but most of them just want kind of a personalized AI trained on their information. I'm like, that's so simple. It's super simple. So what I want to show you, if you haven't done it, anybody play with the GPTs?
Yes.
GPTs? You've made your own GPT?
Yes.
See? So basically you can make your own version of ChatGPT, train on your info, or to do certain tasks. So for instance, I have this, I'll click on this. This is Ralph's personal assistant. I originally set this up and I had an automation in the background of this that would write like a little short ebook for me. So I don't use that one anymore. I cut off that automation, but this is one I made just the other day, Ralph's invoice assistant. So the problem I was running into is contracting with these banks. I have to send them an invoice every week, like my hours and all this. With this, I created this on the front end of an automation. So now I can just say, I have my hours for this week. What do you need? And so this one is specifically trained to take certain data from me so it can send it off to this automation and automatically email my invoice over to the people I need to email it over to. So I kind of show you what that means. So let me actually pull up the little sharing screens in the way. This little share, how do I get rid of this thing? Hide the floating control. There we go. That's what I want to do. Hide them floating controls. All right. So, and this is a little more advanced thing, but when I do that, when I send this information, it goes to this platform called make.com. And I'll touch on make.com a little bit later. You can actually create with no code full automations to do work for you. And you can utilize AI within and all this. So when I send that information, it goes to this thing called a webhook, which just means it pulls the information in, runs it through some stuff, drops it into my invoice template here, and then emails it off for me automatically to the place I need to email it off for, right? So that's something you can set up within ChatGPT to actually do some work for you. Yes. Make.com has a free version. So there's a paid version and a free version, but you can start with a free version, and there you get a lot of operations you can do. Absolutely. So, and you can set that up. It's pretty simple, no code. I teach people how to do some of that stuff. So you can actually do stuff. One of the big complaints people have with AI is like, it can't do stuff for me. Well, you can set it up to do stuff for you. You can give it tools, and then it can go actually do work for you rather than just transform your email. It can actually send the email off for you if you wanted to, right? So that's just one cool way I've used it. You can see it knows exactly what I need to send this invoice because it's asking me because I specifically programmed it. So let me just show you real quick what that looks like. If I go to here to explore GPTs, you can actually find other GPTs that people have made for specific things. But then up top, you can actually, let me get this out of here, move this out the way. You can actually go and create your own GPT. Now, you don't have to know how to do a bunch of coding or anything like that. You can actually go to create, and you can talk to ChatGPT and tell it what you want your GPT to do, and it'll help you build it. How easy does it get, man? It's like a no-brainer. You ain't got to think about it, right? So real simple. I won't go into creating a whole nother one, but basically, if you're a little more advanced like me, I know to go in here and I can put my instructions, which is basically giving it its identity on what it is and what it does. You can give it knowledge. So if you want specific files that you want it to pull from and know from, you can give it knowledge files, and you can have it be able to search the web, do coding, all these different types of things. So it's pretty amazing. And that's just ChatGPT by itself. And again, it's still the beginning of it. But if you didn't know that stuff about ChatGPT, I recommend you explore that more. All right. A couple other things. I'm gonna stay on ChatGPT for a while. They actually the cover I had here, it didn't have the best. It did have a few design flaws, I was told, but I took the invitation that was given, and I wanted to make that into my PowerPoint slide. So I told it to make that. It did do it right at first. It came in a square. I said, hey, change that up so I could put it in the PowerPoint, and it did this. Now, it was a little bit off. This white should have been on that blue. I had a design on it telling me, yeah. But pretty good for like a couple of seconds of just prompting. They changed this up. I could ask it to, fix that too, and it would have done it. For my coffee shop, I own a coffee shop, 45 South up in Norcross. One of my baristas took a picture of their latte art here. And it was like, oh, you should post this. I like, that's cool and all, but it was real plain Jane. So I uploaded to ChatGPT, put my logo, I said, hey, make me something. This was the first one. I was like, that's too dark. Make the background white. Okay, that's better. Put some images on it, and boom, it came up with this. Then I actually did a step further, put this in a video generator, and now the little designs start kind of moving around in it, real cute. All right, so that was one. Here was another one, and this is the advanced image generation that it has now. All I asked it to do, I said, here's my logo, make an ad for our new iced banana bread latte. And it made this. It was a little dark. I was like, okay, that's all right. I said, make one for our honey lavender latte. You see, I'm just putting in some prompts, and it's kicking this out. How long would it take me to get the photo down, get this designed and all that stuff? It was like a matter of seconds. And I said, all right, make another one for my chai latte. Bang, chai latte, got the little cinnamon on the side, real creative. I said, I want my logo to stay red though. Okay, bet, turn it back red. Right? So pretty cool, impressive stuff. And then we just went wild. We got quiche and avocado toast and everything, man. So we got basically a whole little design team right here, right? You probably see these on the internet, people making these little dolls of themselves, I was one of the first. I'm just saying, I pioneered this. And then you can do it's all these other different styles. I did some dad jokes in this little comic book style or whatever. So you can just have a blast and have fun with this. But again, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, if you need creatives, if you need like ads quickly made, content for your social media, boom, you can have that quickly made here. And if it doesn't come out perfect, you tell it to correct it. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. No. So the question was, for those on the line, if back in the day, there was problems with the text on the thing. The newest update with ChatGPT, this is a brand new image model it's using. It used to use something called DALL-E, no longer uses that. There are other image generators like Midjourney, which is really good. They make really good images, but a lot of them mess up the text. The big bragging point for them is now their text is perfect. So you rarely get every blue moon, it might throw an extra L in something or whatever. And you say, hey, that's spelled wrong, and it'll redo it. So yeah, everything I've done, one shot on here, these all like perfectly written out, perfectly. But there are some funny things. So if you notice in this comic, these are all supposed to be the same guy in the same scene. But if you notice, panel one, the dude's got on an orange shirt. Panel two, he got on a yellow shirt. So a few little nuances, and then he's got on a blue like prison outfit on the last one. It's kind of weird. But there are some nuances you can go back and forth with. But yeah, the text is supposed to be pretty much perfect. So they fixed that, which makes this that much more powerful. Yeah. All right, cool. Y'all like that? Y'all got a new view on ChatGPT now? All right. So before we get off OpenAI makes ChatGPT. I want to go to their video model called Sora. So Sora can do images and it can do video. I want you to see the video. We saw some images. It used the same image model as ChatGPT. But video, if you look at these videos, would you be able to tell, like this woman walking up the street, just at first, but you wouldn't know this was AI generated, right? This wolf doing some weird stuff. Now, sometimes it's weird stuff going on. And like people like to do weird little videos and stuff. That's gross, actually. but you can create some really cool stuff. I've seen people make some really cool like music videos using these. So they've kind of mastered how to like make them in the same type of scenery and all this type of stuff and make full on cool music videos. And these are text to video. Now, the cool thing is I can actually click on this. And usually you can actually go and take the prompt. So if you want to recreate your own, you could do it. Now, some of these might be image to video and some of them are text to video, where you just simply type a text, create the video. How real is that? Could y'all tell if this was just popped up on your screen? Y'all be like, oh, that's AI. Oh. So they're getting really, really good at that. And again, if you want to use this for marketing or wherever, you got these tools right at your fingertips, right? And I believe Sora, there might be also a free version, but ChatGPT, I mean, it's like $20 a month. Like for $20 a month, you got a full-on media department that you can help you kind of jumpstart what it is that you want. So I'm on the plus, yeah, I'm on the plus. A lot of stuff is on the free. The image generation, a lot of stuff you got free. You might just get limited amount of generations, but you still get, plenty to work with. Yeah.
I limited and upgraded to $20 because as soon as you're in the middle of a project, it's like, oh, you make these.
Yeah. That's frustrating. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's OpenAI, and that's just the first little part, man. Hey, we just getting started. All right, so let's go over to Gemini. So Gemini is from Google, and I saw a few people say they use Gemini. Gemini's got some really, really powerful tools. I really enjoy their deep research tool. It's kind of like that O3 research that they did, but it goes even deeper. So it searches like hundreds of websites. So on one of the projects that I was working on, somebody wanted to figure out how to make better events for ultra high net worth individuals, like to bring them in. So I had to do deep research on it. And it came up with this extremely detailed step-by-step program for them to do. One of the cool things about Gemini and Notebook LM is they can also create these audio overviews. It's like a little podcast where they discuss the information in it, so you can like hear it in a different way. Yes. What was that? Yeah, it actually does. It doesn't have it down here. If I do a new one, let's see. I was actually going to do a new one here. I was going to have it do that same prompt I did earlier, and we'll see what it comes up with. And it takes a little second because it actually dives even deeper. But it'll show you like it reviewed 175 websites. How long would it take you to review 175 websites to do some research? Right? If you're an entrepreneur, or even just for school, if you're trying to do some research on a certain topic and you want to kind of jumpstart that research, then you could do something like this. It'll kick you out a deep involved research report in a matter of minutes. All right, so it's just verifying this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go ahead and click it. And I'll just kind of show you here, over here, it'll start showing that it'll start doing the research, and it'll show like reviewed 10 websites. I've seen it review like 100 some odd websites, and you'll see the whole thinking process and all that. So we won't stay on this because these do take a little bit longer to think through, but they're really, really in-depth and well-researched. We'll come back to it and see what it came up with. Another one I saw people use is called Notebook LM. This is also by Google, 100% free. So write that one down. 100% free. I'm still on the plus. I have Google Plus like for my stuff. Without everything you see from me, it'll probably be paid, but Notebook LM, 100% free. All right. So, but what you want to do here, you can actually learn. I use it to learn about stuff. I have kids that are in college and in high school. And whenever they were trying to learn some stuff, one of my daughters just got her Google Cloud certification. I was like, hey, but to help you research it, go here to Notebook LM. So let's create a new notebook. Anybody got like a topic they working on right now that they want to do some research on? Anybody? Something? Okay, we'll just student in. Who that? Start a music studio or art studio? What kind of studio? Movie studio. All right. Movie studio. So what it's going to do is it's going to go find sources on the internet, and then it's going to do a summary of those sources. So here it is: how to start a movie company, launch and operate and legally sound, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to just go ahead and import all these resources. And then now what you can do is you can start chatting with it. So if you have certain questions about starting a studio, you can chat with all these documents that is pulled into here. And then you can make notes. And basically this is your whole little study board for that particular topic. One of the cool things, I'll click and let this generate, is that it generates this kind of podcast that will talk about all the information there. So if you're in your car later on after it finishes, you can hear it start talking about, so yeah, the topic today is starting a movie theater. Oh yeah, a movie studio. And it'll kind of go back and forth. It takes a second to generate, but I'll kind of let it play once it gets done. All right. So it's generating this conversation based on 10 sources. Here it gives the summary of the sources here, and then I could ask a question. What's a question you might have that's stumping you? All right, how to find funding. All right. And so what it'll do is it'll go through the sources there, and it'll try to pull it, and I think it will even give you like, it'll cite where it found that from, so you can click to it, so you see these little numbers here. And it kind of walks you through cash flowing, negative pickup deals, blah, 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 blah. All right. I don't know anything about movie studio stuff, so none of that made sense to me. But if I was trying to learn about it, this would be one of the tools I could do. And then you can always come back to your notes, all that. You can share this with other people. So if you got other people working with you, starting the studio, y'all can share and collaborate here. But it'll create your study guide, FAQ, all these little things can get in the way, a briefing doc, whatever you want to create, all these various different things. I'll click a study guide, and it'll create me a study guide based on some of those sources. All right. Let's take a peek back, see if our research is done. Nope, it's still researching, but it's reviewed 130 websites so far. Could you read 130 websites that fast? No. All right, so we're still waiting on that to generate. So I'm gonna keep going. Google AI Studio is another thing by Google. I just put that out there as well because it's a free way to test their Gemini stuff. If you don't want to use the regular Gemini, it's just aistudio.google.com. Yes. So let me go back to, this keep popping back up. All right, so let's go back to Notebook LM. What I did, there was a button over here that says generate, that said generate overview. And I clicked it, so it's already making it now. When it's done, I'll let you hear it. Let you hear what it comes up with. All right. All right, so we'll come back to some of that. I wasn't going to show this. I don't think this is on my list, but let me admit somebody here. So this is one called Gamma. I haven't used it as much because now I use Microsoft's tools. So Microsoft has Copilot. Anybody used Copilot before? All right. So they have Copilot within a lot of their Microsoft tools. So I can create whole PowerPoints in Microsoft PowerPoint by just like clicking the button, telling it what I want, and it'll kick me out like 30 slides of presentation, right? And I can go in and edit it. But before I had that, I had this called Gamma. So let's create a new AI presentation real quick. We'll do it on starting a movie studio. Starting a movie studio step by step. All right. So it's going to generate me the outline. This will generate lots of different types of things. But if you want to do a quick presentation, all right, so it's actually did this. What I also use this for is if you want to create pitch decks. So if you're starting a business, you want to create a pitch deck, you can have it do that. But let's go ahead and just let it do its thing. I think it's going to ask me, this is only going to be 8 slides because I'm on the free version, so it's not going to make me a bunch. But here we go. So it'll actually start creating your template for your PowerPoint. Got pictures and graphs and all types of stuff. But yeah, I see some eyes. She's like, what in the world? And now if you use Microsoft and you get Copilot, then it'll create like 30, 40 slides. This will create me about 8 slides. If you pay for the other version, though, you can probably create even more. But it's just kicking this stuff out. And I can go back through and edit it as I see fit, and boom. But most of my work is done for me. I used to be a corporate trainer, and the biggest thing was creating your PowerPoints. You're like, oh, what picture should I put here? Oh, how should I format this? That's done for me. Then I just go back and change up a couple of things here and there. Nothing to it. Life is so much easier, right? So now you can download this. That's an AI created guy too, I can tell. But yeah, so it's putting the stuff in there, just everything there for you, right? You can expand on it, download it, and edit it how you need, right? So that's Gamma. Pretty cool. All right. Gamma.app. It does have a free version. I've been using the free version for a very long time, and I've got lots of presentations out of it. Lots of them, right? With the free version. And how much is your monthly budget? Oh my goodness, you don't even want to know. It's a business expense, though. It's a business expense. I spend, yeah, you don't even want to know. Over 200 or? Probably, yeah. Yeah, I spend a lot. I'm starting to try to consolidate them as some of the other tools get better. I'm gonna get rid of Mid-Journey because ChatGPT is better than images have. Yes.
So out of all the software, which one do you think is most essential
The number one is going to be ChatGPT. Matter of fact, I meant to do this earlier. So y'all use ChatGPT? Have you ever used the advanced voice mode? Oh man, I meant to show this at the beginning. I missed the opportunity. All right, so let's see. Hey, Ava, I'm doing a presentation at Georgia State University. Can you do a quick introduction of me, please?
Of course. Here's a quick intro you can use. Hello, everyone.
Hey, no,
I'm
no,
pleased to
Ava, I want you to introduce me.
Got it. Let me rephrase that in my voice. Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to introduce Ralph White. Ralph is an AI innovator, developer, investor, and board director with a passion for leveraging
Okay,
artificial
that's enough.
intelligence.
Thank you. So the reason I say ChatGPT because they keep advancing. They've got so much stuff. They got the regular tech stuff that you use with all these deep research models, deep thinking models. They have image generation with the perfect text and everything now. They have video generation with Sora, which is basically like a sister app to ChatGPT. So they've got the majority of the stuff that you would want. I did a LinkedIn post where I created some software using a tool I'm gonna show you in a minute. And I did like a prototype, but then I created like the cool little like landing page, like if it was on your app with ChatGPT with that image creation. So ChatGPT is right now going to be the number one, if I had to say overall, if you want to use. But all these other tools have free versions, and I would definitely recommend taking advantage of all the free stuff you can get up to the limit. And they usually reset your limits each month, right? So you could probably use it for a while for free. Yes.
Would you say that it knew all that about you because been showing all that content and information in it?
Yes.
And a learning model itself, or is it just it knows about you based on what's on the internet?
No, so it can find out about you on the internet, but I do have memory turned on my ChatGPT. So you have the option to have it memorize stuff about you, which is very useful for me because I like if I'm on like a fitness plan, I'm like, hey, yeah, my body weighs this and this and that for the day. Give me my nutrition plan for the week. And they'll say, boom, 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 and it'll drop out my nutrition plan. That's how much protein, fats, whatever. So it's really a personal assistant. That's what they're designed to be. Yes.
So can you put your own information?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. You can create it. You can drop in your own text, notes, outlines, or whatever. You can import a file if you want to turn a document into something else. Yeah, so you got a lot of different options. I just did the quick one there to do it off a prompt. But yeah, you got a lot of different options. All right, let's keep on going. Let's see, we got more time. Let's see. All right, so the next one is 11 Labs. Couple of cool things with 11 Labs. Again, it clones your voice. So I've used it before for like voiceovers and stuff. But one of the things I really love is that it can like translate videos. It can do a lot of stuff, but translating videos, let's say for instance, I actually had this Georgia FinTech video. Actually, I'll do this US Bank. So I used to work for US Bank. I was kind of showing them as a bank, if you want to, get into different markets, all your stuff can't just be in English. So I was like, what's an easy way to take what you had and turn it into Spanish? So let's see if I can get this volume to play here. Oh, it's not playing my volume. No, my computer's not on. Let's see. Let me try. Maybe, it looked like the volume was low. Let's see. So this was a video that was on YouTube in English. I dropped it in 11 Labs to translate this to Spanish. I had another one for the World Bank. I changed theirs into French.
Les rouages qui font fonctionner les sociétés sont plus connectés à Internet que jamais.
All right, and so imagine if you're trying to reach more than just the English market, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you don't want to just be limited just to the US. You might have something that's international, right? You can translate it into other, yes. You get somebody, that's where you have the human in the loop. So there is a thing called the human in the loop, right? So with some stuff, until it's totally perfect, you still want a human in the loop. So you do this and you say, because that's actually a good point. What happened when we were when I was in DC with the World Bank, one of the models translated it perfectly. I think it was Heijin. Then I used something else. They were like, no, that's not how we would say that. Then we say it like this. Like, okay, cool. So you have that feedback and then you can have it correct, right? So different models are going to be better at different things. Another thing I use this for is I actually created a prototype for something I call the project manager. So if you never worked in corporate and you might work in corporate someday, there's lots of meetings. And it's meetings about the meetings, it's project update meetings. And they always want to know, like, what's the update from marketing on this? And what's the update from product on this? And if you own your own business, you'll probably start having stuff like that. But what if you could have something where your people uploaded their updates into like just one folder and the AI could just pull from it. You could just talk to the AI and ask for updates. So let's see if this can work here.
Project updates, can I help you with today?
Hey, what projects do I have that you can help me with?
With updates on the customer service chatbot integration project and the AI automation.
All right, what's the update on the customer service bot?
Project is at risk.
Okay,
It's delayed because of some issues integrating with the legacy CRM system, but they're allocating additional resources to fix it.
okay. So who's the contact on that?
Right, is the project manager for that one.
Who was that? I missed it.
About that. The project manager is Monica White. Is there anything else I can help you with on that project?
No, that's it. Thank you. So I uploaded some documents with project information, right? So I put who's the project manager. I had ChatGPT make this because I don't like typing a lot. But it made this whole project like update sheet, right? I uploaded it into the memory of this AI, and now I can just chat with it. So that could save so many hours of meetings. I estimated that the bank with 80,000 employees, all spending some amount of time in meetings, you're talking about millions of dollars in productivity lost on sitting on calls. Like, what's the update for marketing? Like, it's just crazy, right? How much time you can save. So very super efficient. And these AI models like this with 11 Labs are being used to make like appointment setting calls and things like that, reminder calls about appointments and really cool things like that. Now, they're obviously being used for nefarious reasons as well. Some people use them for bad, but it's not the tool that's bad, it's the users, right? So just throw that out there because I know somebody's probably thinking that. All right, so let's go over to another one called Heijin. Anybody heard of Heijin? You heard of Heijin? So you know that all these things of me are what? These are avatars. They aren't really me. So I upload a video in this setting, but then I was able to generate additional videos of me, but it ain't me. So one I like to always show is this one here. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. I think I say like buenos dias, maybe. And then I made this to go on LinkedIn. I have no idea if I'm saying that right, but looks pretty good, right? So at first glance, you probably wouldn't even know. I got this blown up so you can see my mouth might be moving a little weird, but if it's when I post this on LinkedIn, I mean, you don't know. So now I, even as a expert, can put my videos in other languages and things like that. Yes.
We've got a question.
Uh-oh. Okay.
A question from those online.
Mm-hmm.
Does Poe really use all of the GPT or its space to be able to access the various GPT?
Does what? Poe?
Yes, P-O-E. Asking about Poe.
Does
All
Poe
of the
use?
GPT.
I don't know. I've heard of Poe. I don't use Poe because it's specific to a certain platform. But I don't actually use Poe. So I'm not really sure how to answer that question for you. But if you want access to the GPTs, you got the GPT store that I showed earlier. But I'm not really sure if Poe uses all the GPTs. I can look into that though. Yeah. Yes. It does have free credits, right? So all these things have, they call them freemiums. So they have a free version, you get a certain amount, and then after that, you're gonna pay. But I think I actually do pay for this. I got so many subscriptions, I don't even know why I pay, but I think I pay for this too. I don't even use it hardly, but except for presentations. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tend to like Heijian stuff a little bit more. They seem a little bit more advanced. They have these interactive avatars, so I think it's going to be a really cool thing. One of the professors was up here, he was telling me he's got his digital twin downstairs on too. And I immediately thought of this. So these are like digital avatars that you can actually converse with back and forth. So I got the L&D compliance training person, and I can talk with her back and forth. So I just for the sake of time, let's see what we might be coming up on. I don't know if we got time to go over anything, but I'll keep on moving. So there's another one called InVideo. So the video I showed earlier with Sora created actual AI characters in the videos and everything. You can do that with InVideo, but it's way more expensive to use because it makes long form videos. You can make really long videos. But with this, what you can do is you can create a video from stock images, from stock videos. It will recognize based on what you're trying to make it on, like which stock videos and images to put in the right order. So I did one. I won't do it because it takes a second to generate. But this actually was one I put in a prompt. I said, create a short 30-second commercial about the Bank of Ralph, highlighting the bank's focus on safety, security, blah, 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 blah. All right. And it created this nice little video on the Bank of Ralph.
Feels like home. At Bank of Ralph, we prioritize your security and peace of mind. Our digital solutions make banking safer and easier, while our local branches are here to support you. From helping small businesses grow to achieving your personal financial goals, we're more than just a bank.
I won't even let it play that, but just how powerful is that to be able to make like a bank commercial? I kind of mimicked this off of a US bank commercial I seen on their YouTube. And you compare the two, it's like the quality is pretty much there. The same little clippings, the fading in and out with the people at the bank. I didn't have to tell it to do any of that. It knew based on what I was trying to do how to set that up. But then I can go in, I can make edits. I can make edits to the script. I can change out the videos. I can do whatever with it. So I have full control over it.
So you ran it on TV or YouTube fan?
It's yours. No, it's yours. It's yours. Once you download it, it takes off the stock image, stuff like that. But you do have to pay to get the stock image. So in video, you can play with it forever. But it'll keep the stock image thing on. If you want to download it without the stock image brand, but then it's your chest.
I know the answer to this, but
Yeah.
I want you to answer.
Mhm.
Is it possible for AI tools to spread misinformation? And if so, what can be done to ensure it won't?
So two-part question. Is it possible for them to spread misinformation? So it really, misinformation will kind of depend on the prompt. So the LLMs do what they call hallucinate, right? They can hallucinate. And that means they're kind of imagining new things. It's kind of a double-edged sword. We created these things to be, we call them generative AI. It means they want them to generate new ideas and new things. But a consequence of that is sometimes it'll make up stuff. They've gotten a lot better at having them not hallucinate. And when you're training your own AI model, you can specifically put guardrails in so it doesn't hallucinate, right? So that's kind of how you can kind of manage that quite a bit. And again, a lot of the misinformation spreading though comes from the user, because somebody will generate something and then push it out. And it's usually on purpose, nefariously done. But as far as it giving you information by accident, it can hallucinate. So you do have to like double check. But they've gotten better at like citing their resources and things.
Which you would then probably classify as an error.
Error.
Misinformation.
Exactly. Yeah. Spreading misinformation is kind of nefarious type of situation. Yes.
This is on the investment part. Obviously, there's companies like Microsoft that does a lot of money to AI that give you chips, but if you want to invest in companies, because this is only going to get better, which stocks or companies would you invest in now for AI?
Ooh. Well, I'm a different type of mammal when it comes to investing, but if you want to be more direct with it, like Microsoft uses OpenAI's technology, which is ChatGPT. So Microsoft's going to use a lot. Google, also a public company, they're killing it with AI. NVIDIA makes the chips. Any other chip companies think those types of things are going to be probably pretty big. I kind of do it different where I know it's going to take lots of energy, so I invest in like energy companies, but they need more energy. So it's a little different approach, and energy companies, you don't know no energy company name. So yeah. And I like stocks that you don't know the names of, so that way if the news hits them, you don't even know who they are, you know, but Microsoft stock could crash tomorrow because, you know, Bill Gates said something. He don't even work there no more, you know, so weird stuff like that. So I'm very cautious with how I invest, but yeah, good question though. Those are a few. All right, so now we've looked at a lot of tools. How much time we got? We right at 2 o'clock, hard stop?
Yeah, we have a hard stop.
All right.
Beautiful people outside.
All right.
The window are waiting to get to.
All right, cool. Well, I won't show you. I have some other advanced stuff I'll show y'all guys, but I'll throw out to go check out bolt.new. If you build software, bolt.new is amazing. I built this landing page for a client like in a couple of seconds. They wanted a React landing page. I created what in the world is this doing? I created just playing around, made like a little QR code generator just because I used to use them a lot when I was in training. And I made it create me like a QR code generator. But so I recommend going to check out bolt.new. I think I put Replit on as well. These are AI software builders. So if you're into building software. So the last thing I'll do is just something fun. Suno creates music, and it's actually pretty good music too. So I want us to create a little song before we go. Somebody give me like a topic, and somebody give me like a genre of music. Give me a topic and a genre. We only got 3 minutes. Jazz, all right. Jazz. Up-tempo, let's say up-tempo jazz. Song about Atlanta. All right, let's go with that. All right, so so we're gonna have it create us a song. So first it'll write the lyrics. It's gonna put the voice on. It's gonna do the music, all this stuff. Now, not all of them are totally excellent, but a lot of them are pretty darn good. Peachy vibes in Atlanta. All right, let's see what the first one is. Let's see. Oops. Let's see what kind of vocals it gives. All right, that's the first one. It gives you 2 of them. Oh, so I always like to do little cool stuff at the end, but see how quick it came up with it. It's got the music, the arrangement, the lyrics, the voice. It does like the intonation, probably got a bridge and the hook and all this type of stuff in a matter of seconds. So this is Suno. I recommend going out having some fun with that. So I'll stop it there and just ask some questions. We only got like 2 minutes. Yes. Mm-hmm. So you just follow the rules. If somebody has a thing you got to click that this is AI generated, click the button. It doesn't stop it from doing this thing, right? With a lot of these platforms will tell you like you have the rights to this if you're paying for it or whatever. So it'll tell you your rights as far as the music and everything. Yes.
So let's say I want to use ChatGPT or like a different AI to be able to make like a business. What are the licensing stuff around that? We gotta license it. We gotta pay people who made open source AI. What do we do there?
No, you don't. If you want to create your own business using some of these tools, you create it. It's like these companies will tell you if you don't have rights to some of the material that you make, right? But most of the stuff is yours.